Let me make sure I have all the parts we need. Ooh, and make sure the record is good. Excellent. Okay, so we're looking at constructing a fence for specifically the consoles, so PlayStation, Xbox, for DayZ 1.04, and this will pertain to DayZ 1.05 that's quickly coming. DayZ 1.05, it's worth noting, the vaulting is going to be coming in, although you cannot vault over player-crafted walls, which is great. That's good news. So I think reassessing your current builds, roping them off, and making those changes is going to be critical.
Yourself. You can't bury your ashes on hard surface.
Oh, it actually let you take it apart? That's funny. So
yeah.
yes, we'll be doing a...
I can keep the rocks.
Oh, it lets you take it apart. So we'll be showing you how to make a gate with some defensives on there, because I know, again, a lot of people are still... might be their first time building in general. And it can be a little complex. Right, Grouch?
Oh, yeah. I had to do it myself.
Dude, your bib looks dirty. What have you been eating?
Penis.
Fair enough. Okay, let me disassemble this. We might just pull it away so it's easier to construct.
Also, how to make a brick oven, because apparently you just need rocks. And a fireplace. Large rocks, right.
I can never find the spot for this. Did I just make the most impossible way to disassemble this? Maybe. Alright, well, I can build it out here. First things first. You'll need to make a fence kit. I know a lot of people are like, hey, how do you make a fence kit? If you have rope, you can attach a rope and then sticks together, but in this case, I do not have rope. So you can craft improvised rope. That's 6 rags combined with another 6 rags. Which I don't think I have on my person. Man, I'm so ready for this. I think it's in here. Oh, there we go.
I have rope.
That's cool, I got it. So if you don't have rope at your disposal, you can combine 6 rags on top of each other. So we have 6 rags here, some rags in my hand, and to combine on the Xbox is B, and for the PlayStation 4 it is, I was going to say 0, but it's circle. And then you craft with right trigger on the Xbox, and that is R2 on the PlayStation 4. Wait for the construction wheel to finish, and then boom, rope. Now it's worth noting that planks are going to be an issue for sure. In our case, we're close to the city, but for some reason, well, not some reason, occasionally you can get spawns where you're not going to see plank pallets. Plank pallets? Say that 3 times real fast. Plank pallets. The plank pallets are the best way to get planks. There are additional ways to get planks through just chopping down trees in general. Quick note, and again, this is for constructing a fence in 104 for the PlayStation 4 and for the Xbox. And I think I said that earlier, but I'm not sure if I did. It's also worth noting, if you look at your soft skills, here at the lower left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see just above my stamina, you see a threaded needle and then a construction piece. Actually, my soft skills are going more to the right. As your player lives on longer and you do more of a certain task, you'll get better and more proficient at a certain skill. When it goes further towards the hammer, you can sometimes get more logs per tree. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Not just fireplace logs, but regular logs. Let me go grab this splitting axe. Some people were asking me in the chat just not too long ago, why is it sometimes when I chop down a tree, I get 2 wooden logs as opposed to 1? And that is an excellent question, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, yeah, how do I do that? Because that would be awesome to do on a regular basis. Okay, so I'm a little all over the place. Let me make sure we got everything all going on all cylinders here. So I think it's pertinent to cover these things for us on the old console here in 104. I did do a fence build guide, but that was back for 102, and there's been some subtle changes, some things that actually work correctly now. Okay, so you can definitely chop down trees with a splitting axe, a hatchet, or that might be it. Is that? Yeah, I think that's it. I would keep a roll of duct tape with you, and please keep in mind 105, the duct tape glitch does not work anymore. So you can still fix your tools with duct tape, but you can only do it 4 or 2 times, and then the roll of tape is gone. The durability can no longer be restored with that glitch. Oh my, okay, so here's a wooden log, and then there's fireplace logs. There's a wooden log that's 33 slots. So if my soft skill is higher, I can sometimes get 2 of those wooden logs, which are great, because we do need 2 of those. I'm going to chop down 3 additional trees here, or 2 additional trees to what I just chopped down, to show you what we're looking for. So there are 2 things that I know of that can make planks from wooden logs, and that is what is this thing called? A handsaw, which is new to 104. It has a lot of durability. What is that, 10 slots, under 1 kilogram? It seems to hold up quite nicely with sawing logs in half, wooden logs, not to be confused with the firewood logs. The hatchet's great, but its durability is not very good, because clearly chopping down a big tree with a hatchet's just going to destroy it. I'll show you here in a second why you really want to find plank pallets around. And I think I've got this is Cherno City. Well, okay, we're in Electro, but this zoom in map here that you're looking at is Cherno. And if you look at the more dark brown or almost chocolate brown with those, it looks like a sandwich or like a book. Those are potential plank spawns. And again, this is I Survive. This was where that map came from. And those are potential plank spawns or plank pallet spawns. And you want to make sure that you're trying to find those when you can. But in this case, for most people, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to have to do it in this fashion. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this wooden log. As you can see, it's about as tall as I am, and you definitely walk slowly with it. And you cannot stack it outside by your hand, but if you have there's a hacksaw and there's a handsaw. I want to show you what the hacksaw looks like. Little side note, the hacksaw can actually saw off the BK muzzle to make it a 10-slot weapon. I think we have it in here. Boom. There it is. Hacksaw. You can use that to make planks as well, but it seems to not hold up as long as a hand saw. Subtle differences, but it definitely makes a difference, especially if you have to make planks in this fashion. Whenever you can, you want to make sure you're stocking up on the plank pallets because you get more per yield. I think you get 6 or 9 planks per as you knock it off the pallet. In this case, I think you get 2 or 3 per wooden log, which is pretty steep. I'm going to chop down the peach tree. Pear tree. You didn't know about the rope? It's pretty crazy, right? So again, durability can still be fixed with duct tape. So right here, hatchet is damaged. We're used to in 104, which is our current version. This is what, the 26th of August. And basically 105 is just around the corner. We're waiting for it to hit stable branch on the PC, which might even be today according to the tweet we just saw. But so right here, this duct tape's durability is half. As I fix this hatchet, it's going to go down to 1/4. With the new update 105, you cannot restore that by restraining yourself and then breaking free. So the hatchet's fixed. If you look at the durability here, it's rather low. So what we do here in 104 for the consoles and for the PC, we restrain and then we break ourselves out, and the durability for the duct tape comes back. So get used to that not working in the very near future. And also vaulting is going to change things up in the way you build. So fence building in general, gate building is going to be your best friend. Get to know it, learn it, love it. Alright, we're going to make some planks off this bad boy, and we'll take the other 2 logs, and we'll make ourselves an operational gate with some defenses on it. Okay, so one wooden log right here. We'll take our handsaw, put it in our hand, and then right trigger on the Xbox, and that's R2 on the PlayStation 4. And you should see the first recipe should be craft into a plank. You can see right here, 16 is the slot size, and we only get 3 planks. Again, with the soft skills in that lower left-hand corner, as you get more proficient, you'll probably get more of those. But again, you would get more of those if you're cutting it off of a plank pallet in town. Or in one of the plank pallet spawns, potentially. I'm going to move this over here. We might just construct this out in the open. It might be quicker that way. Yeah, because we definitely have a cool spot to do it there, but it's a little tight. And that's okay. We'll do it here on this side of the house. House, church, building, prefab, whatever that is. Look, guys, Wheezy McQueezy. Looking for industrial areas, construction zones is definitely a spot where you want to find nails too. I know a lot of people are still asking where those are at, which makes sense. A lot of people skipped a building in the last, what was that, 102 for the consoles? You could do it, but a lot of people were like, yeah, it's not really worth my time. Which I get. Okay, we need 2 wooden logs. As you saw, you just chop down trees, and you'll get firewood like this little guy, and then a wooden log that I'm carrying with 2 hands, which can also be turned into planks by using a hacksaw or a hand saw. We're just going to try to take it over here. I wish we could stack these in our hand, but we can't currently. I'm sure this is going to obliterate my shoes. Has it? Looks like it might have. Excellent. We just do it right here. Might make more sense to do it here. Get that other log. You can also see why using a vehicle for this is definitely accelerates this process by a lot. Is that a, oh, that's a knockdown tree. I hope we can find the other log we've dragged up the hill here. Maybe I'll find this, I'm not sure. Where is it? Firewood? Did I move the log up the hill? We need a secondary log. You know what? Can't we just take it down from one of these guys? I'm just gonna chop down another tree. Yeah, I wanted you guys to see where all this stuff comes from. I like to have some of these pieces ahead of time, parts, materials, but I want you to see just how much time it takes to chop down each individual log and where you get them. Hatch is so good. It's the best building tool right now. Maybe not the most durable, but definitely the best. Yeah, anytime you can use a bag to put these logs into and then use the hard mode to walk faster is ideal. And that's if it works, because you could be watching this in the future on a future version of DayZ like 105 or higher, so it could definitely not be a thing. So anytime you can use the hard mode to walk faster, it's good. Where did I put it? Okay, there it is. Plank. Okay, so to make a fence kit, you're going to need sticks. So in our pile, our heaping pile of fire logs we have everywhere, you can take a long stick or you can take a fire log and you can split that into smaller sticks. Let me just find one of these guys right here. There we go, firewood. It's one of the byproducts of us chopping down a tree. As you see right there, if you hold right trigger on the Xbox, that is going to make, or it's going to split them into smaller sticks. And for PlayStation 4, that is R2. So we're just going to make a fence kit in this case because we're making a gate, so we'll just need 2 sticks. We'll find the rope that we made. By the way, if you make improvised rope or you have regular rope, they're the same thing. So with these sticks in your hand and finding the rope in your inventory, you hit B to combine, and that's on the Xbox, and that is circle on the PlayStation 4. Right trigger to craft it, and again R2 for the PlayStation 4. Wait for the action wheel to complete. And now you'll see we have a fence kit on the ground, which is 5 slots. It says fence kit. Now, I know we said this earlier, but it's definitely worth mentioning. You can rotate this on the console. I know we don't have a mouse wheel here, but we do have, and again, I learned this relatively not too long ago. Not relatively, but not too long ago. Maybe 3 days ago. So when you have it placed, by the way, a fence kit, the interior is always going to be facing you. Or you're going to be facing the interior, or the soft side for the wall. So if you would like to place, again, to choose a placement, right trigger or R2 on the PlayStation 4. Up on the D-pad, if you tap it, now I've just rotated the hard side of the wall is now facing me, and the soft side is facing the prefab structure. Pretty nice. Sometimes I like to go first person when I do that. Having the proper side of the wall is really important for a fence or even for a wall in general. A lot of the actions you can do are either they take longer or shorter depending on what side of the wall you're on. So we have the fence kit down. The next step for this is to place the logs on the fence kit. I'm a big fan of picking it up to your hands. Again, I'm in the vicinity, and that's the touchpad for you guys on the PlayStation. And then hitting A for us on the Xbox to put it to your hands, and that's X for you guys on PlayStation 4. I like to have the materials in my hand and then attach them directly without having to go into the inventory like this. It's faster. Again, with the inventory glitches we're dealing with in 104, the desync of the inventories in 104 between both the consoles, it's your friend. It always has been. Even in the past, it was when we had huge inventory problems when this was in preview. That's always been a saving grace for us. One of the other major tools you'll need for this are, well, one of the major tools you need in general is almost always the shovel. I know a lot of people have said, oh, it's crap, you don't need it. It's definitely useful, especially when you're building. It's essential when you're building. So once you have enough fence poles, or I'm sorry, wooden logs in the fence kit, and you approach the inside of the wall, you can now construct it with right trigger or R2 on the PlayStation 4. Wait for that action wheel to complete, and then you'll be in the next phase of the wall. If you notice, the fence kit pops out right there. We don't need the shovel now. We can now stow the fence kit, and now let's take our other pieces. Okay, so the other pieces you'll need for this are wooden planks. You know how to get those, and nails. Some people don't know that the nails come out of this box here. So box of nails, again, they spawn in industrial areas, docks, garages, anything warehouse-like. They could potentially spawn there. Sometimes they spawn on shelves, sheds, that kind of thing. I don't think they spawn in sheds. They can spawn in railroad cars. So if you take a box of nails and put it in your hands, you can hold right trigger to unpack them. Again, on PlayStation 4, that is R2. Now if I look at my hands, I have 70 nails in my hands and a scrap of paper on the ground. I'm going to combine some of the other nails with the nails in my hand to make 99, just to do it. I have the nails in my hand still. I'm going to attach them to the fence. Again, I'm looking at the inside of the wall, and the nails are attached. If I do vicinity, I can now see the logs that we already dug into the ground. Now we have nails in that slot. Now we need to get planks. I pre-cut some planks earlier to save some time. Put it in a wooden crate. By the way, I do have a wooden crate video. I'll go ahead and link that, and I think I've got a command for that. What's up, Kimmy? Kimmy says, "Do what up?" Yo, yo. Yes, they are. Nails are an excellent currency for trading, and so is barbed wire. Hopefully we get to that shortly. Okay, so this wooden crate just has a bunch of planks in it. I'm going to take the planks out, and I'm going to take a full stack in my hands and then attach it to the fence using right trigger. Now if we do a vicinity check by the fence, you'll see that we have 99 nails and 20 planks. Now you can either use a crafting hammer or a hatchet. I'm a big fan of the old hatchet. As long as you're on the interior of the wall, you have actions to build various sections of the wall. And yes, a gate starts with a fence with some extra parts. So we're going to do this on the cheap. We're going to build the lower frame. Again, in version 105 that's coming shortly for us. You cannot vault over anything, even short walls like this. If it's player crafted, you cannot vault over it. Lower wooden wall, that's not what we want. We just want the upper frame. Next. So now we have a wall. So in order to make the next step, we're going to need two things. We're going to need pliers to do anything with metal wires or barbed wire. And in this case, to make a fence into a gate, we're going to need metal wire. So we'll go ahead and look at the fence. It took up 8 planks. Is that right? Am I out of my mind? And 7, what, 16? 16 nails? Is that right? Yeah, so it's 99 nails. 99. Oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. What are we doing? Okay, yeah, metal wire. Okay, so to make a gate, to make a fence into a gate, you need metal wire. So again, we're on the interior of the wall. Kind of hard to tell, but I wanted the exterior of the wall, the hard side of the wall facing the structure. And we're always on the interior of the wall. Now, with the metal wire in your hand, you can attach it as we've been attaching all the other parts, which is quite nice. It's at the base, center, and on the interior of the wall. And again, that's right trigger. Or you could do it with vicinity check, and then you can drag things down in that column. If you have a lot of structures, that left column can get quite tall. So I find that this contextual way of attaching it is a lot more simplistic and much more straightforward. And you have less glitches with the inventory stack there on the left column. So the only way you can take it to the next step now, and a lot of people get lost in this or they don't have the proper tools, these pliers right here, and they're rather small, hard to find. Again, you can find these in sheds, residential garages, industrial garages. Pliers right here. They're pretty small, so you want to be on the lookout, but you cannot make the gate or even attach barbed wire unless you have pliers. So I'm not really sure. Okay, so it's in the same place as everything else. So with pliers in your hand and the metal wire attached to the fence that's constructed up to this point, I think this is the bare minimum. You have to have the outline frame for it to work. Now you can build a gate with pliers in your hand, and it's right trigger and wait for the action wheel, and that's R2 for PlayStation 4, and you can see where the hinge ends up. That's the metal wire itself, and then this gate becomes an actionable. I wonder if I should open this like that. Can I close that now? Uh-oh. Alright, hang on, let me see. Oh man, I hope I can close that because I want to show you the next step. I guess I can still show you the next step. It's definitely clipped in the wall. Damn. Okay, that's fine. So, can I close it? Oh man, I hope I can. Let's see if we can close it. In some cases, you can't place walls, but if you were to have a gate swing open and then you were to disassemble that gate using the pliers on the hinges, right there, we have an action on the hinge itself. We can dismantle the gate. If you look there, it'll enable us to basically make a wall where it couldn't previously be placed. Now you cannot close this. Well, we can't close this anyways because I clipped it into the damn wall. But we should be able to build an additional gate here. And I've tried this on 102, but I have not tried this in 104. I think this is still possible. We're about to find out. Yes, we totally can. No, this is actually... Okay, so you used to be able to build it across, but it actually wants you to build the next piece. That's fine. I guess we'll have to do this with the barbed wire like this. Okay, so to build a defensive portion, or defensive gate, which is essential in my opinion, if you're going to be doing anything base related. Can we mount this? Yes, okay, we can build the gate. And again, to get the gate functional again, you just use the pliers and the metal wire again. It's not going to let me close that, is it? Son of a... Well, let's get the defensive part of this. I was hoping I could close that again. One of the biggest things are barbed wire. I think it's right up there with nails as far as currency in the apocalypse. Dirty food. Also use a combination lock as well. Okay, cool. We do have barbed wire. I think we'll just make it right here so we can see what's going on. We'll try to do it very quickly. But yes, just to quickly go over this again, because I don't think I hit that super well. To make walls clip into structures in vanilla, right, for us on console, PlayStation 4, Xbox, all that good stuff, to get walls to clip into areas that aren't typically able to be accessed by us, you want to make a gate and then open the gate into it and then disassemble the hinge, the metal wire that is the hinge off of the gate. Hi, it's been a long night. What's up, Joe? Actually, Joe said bad to put the barbed wire on gates until they fix the glitch. It's been working well for us. I say leave it. All right, so the metal wire is a little hard to see. It almost looks like an empty slot when you're doing it. Invisible barbed wire, yeah. We're just going to recreate a fence lower portion here quickly. Just because I want you to see what the barbed wire and stuff looks like when it's not clipped into the wall completely. This will become a thing, most definitely. Because you're going to have to make player-built walls to make a base in general. Whoops, we got to do it like this. I forgot. Come on, I've already done this once. Jeez! You'd think I would have known by now. Says we put it on the gate and took it off, and now sometimes we have invisible barbed wire. Yes, that is a glitch right now for PlayStation and Xbox on version 1.04. Again, what is this, August 26th? 5th? 6th? It's a Monday. Build upper frame. We'll open the door so you can see. This looks exactly like the gate we just constructed. Or it looks like the wall. The fence that we just constructed. Alright, let's take the metal wire in hand and then attach it at the base center. And then get the old pliers in hand and then construct that gate, baby. Now we can open there at the side. That's what I wanted to show you too. So we're going to attach a lock to this as well. But let's finish that defensive thought with barbed wire. So, okay, so this bag, hopefully we can take it out of the bag, right? We're still dealing with inventory. Son of a... It's going to be lame, isn't it? Yes, okay, we got it out. Thank goodness. This inventory desync is killing me. I cannot wait for the patch. Come on, let me pick it up, you scrub. Okay, we'll try it again. I'll have to I'll have to basically close my client and come back in. So desync is real. Okay, so I guess we'll do the combination lock. Alright, so this is the exterior of the wall. Let me do this to help illustrate this. Hopefully this works too. I don't know if it will. Take some metal sheets and we'll make the lower portion. Again, doing it as cheaply as possible. It's always my favorite thing to do. Close the gate, back up. And now that we're on the interior, we can build the inside. Lower metal wall. Man, I'm bad. That's the second time I've done that. Now it's going to make more sense. Boom. Okay. Maybe if I took out... Come on. Okay, so to attach the combination lock to make this a functional gate. Again, people can raid this using hacksaw. It's a nice raid tool. Oh, come on. Wait. There we go. Combination lock must be attached to a working gate. If you're going to attach it or remove it or hack it off. Well, I guess you can hack it off anytime. But before you apply it, you're going to have to set the code in your hand first. So in this case, we'll just make it 111. And then when you attach it, it's going to scramble the combination lock. Now you can attach it on the inside or outside, which is nice, but it tends to be at the bottom center of the fence frame or the gate frame here. So you can see I can attach it here. And then let me show you on the inside, which this might be a bit more tricky since we're pinned against this door. There we go. If you look right there, I can still attach it. And when I do, the combination lock has changed. As you know, we have it as 111. Here on the Xbox, the next dial is X, and holding it flips the dial. And so X for us on the Xbox would be square on the PlayStation 4. So we're currently on the first number, so I'm going to hold the dial, and then each click represents one tick up. So what did I say, 111? So when I hold it, I'm going to count 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. Okay, so to get to the next number, I'm going to tap X, and that would be square on the PlayStation. So we're on 4 now, so I'm going to hold it until it goes to 1. So it's on 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. Tap X or square, and then hold X or hold square, and this will be a quick one. 0, 1. And then as soon as you get the combination, it pops off. Now keep this in mind. When you pop it off and you leave it on the ground, or you put this in a chest, you're literally putting away your combination in full. So if you don't want people to know what it is, or you're stepping away for a while, change those dials. You don't have to attach it again, but change it quickly. Because if you store it all with the same number, they'll just know what your combination is. Pretty crazy, right? So I'll show you that you can attach it from the outside. Lock it up. Now there is a 4-dial combination, which is pretty nice. See if I can get... Sometimes if you, in 104, if you can get a bag... Man, this desync is rough. Can I swap it? Okay, let me restart it. I'm going to close the client entirely and then come back and we'll get the barbed wire, because that is such a critical part of this. A huge part of the defense, and even having it on either side, it makes it much more difficult, because somebody, if they're going to attack your front wall, they have to attack it for a certain amount of time, but the barbed wire's there, it's going to wreck you. And then, with the glitch right now, it's going to wreck you outright. But if there's 2 of them there, it's almost instantaneous death. Sometimes you can crawl through those holes, but for the most part, those lower frames or upper frames, if you don't create a wall there, but it's rough. It's not as easy as it was in 102. Ayaya! Okay. Well, okay, so I know PlayStation and Xbox are dealing with this 104 desync inventory trash. So sometimes rebooting the client can help. Sometimes it doesn't. Just depends. Alright, so we're rejoining the server. I'm trying to find it. Found it. This server is going to be open to the public on Tuesday. We'll be bouncing between official and private servers. Get in there! Okay, loading back in. Hopefully this fixes it. I hope so, because I want to show you the barbed wire. It's been so instrumental in us holding back a lot of people. Even if there's 1 person on, 2 people on, it's been good. Oh, Kimmy says, I'm on my iPad since I'm doing my laundry. Nice. 4 a.m. live? Yeah, I know. It was super late. Okay. Barbed wire, please. I think it's probably still in the bag, isn't it? Of course it is. It's not going to let me pick it up, is it? Son of a... Let me see if I can get this container close to this container. See if we can make some magic happen here. I'm going to try to attach it directly. Alright, I'm going to try to drop it from this container. Let me try to go to this column and then drag it in. It's going to be lame, isn't it? Let me try to get close to it. It's like technically there, or it's technically not there even though I can see it. Oof, super annoying. We have another piece of barbed wire somewhere. Let me see if we do. We might. Well, anyways, you're going to attach it in the same fashion. You're going to take the barbed wire, and if you look at the slot here on the fence, you're going to notice that this is the lower barbed wire slot, and this is the upper barbed wire slot. And once it's in that position, it's very similar to the metal wire that makes the hinge. To take it to the next level, you need to have pliers in your hand, and you need to come down to this base center with the pliers, and then it'll say mount barbed wire. When you do, be careful, because it will damage everybody. Doesn't matter what team you're on, who you are, if you did it or you didn't build it, it's going to wreck you hard. And now, since the inventory is being so lame, we'll have to imagine there's barbed wire here, but so if someone's going to raid this, they're going to have to break this bottom layer. So if this is wooden, it would take some time, but this is metal. And then if you have barbed wire on there, on this slot right here, it's even more difficult, because they'll be taking damage. And then if you have barbed wire on the top, if they get even close to that too, it stacks that damage and you're just wrecked. Like you think, or like by the time you notice you're taking damage by barbed wire, you're going to pass out. If you're on top of it, you're going to die. And that's just one. So imagine doing honeycomb, multiple layers of fences, and then on each of those fences there's 2 barbed wire or 1 piece of barbed wire there. It's endless. Or opening a gate that has barbed wire into a chute where people are coming in, instant dead. Like, it's super effective. Even with the glitch right now where it gets stuck, it's still working the way it should. As far as like a defensive piece. So it's a little annoying for your teammates, but or even you, because there can be a glitch where it'll just wreck you. And if it's stuck with like damage, and even though you're not next to the barbed wire, if you're trying to get away from it, I think if you force close the game, that'll save you, but you'll take a lot of damage. And that's for version 104 for the Xbox and PlayStation. But anyways, the barbed wire, basically what I'm saying is it works quite well. So you need to make sure that you have pliers and barbed wire. So collect as much barbed wire as you possibly can, and make sure you're collecting as much or as many nails as possible, because all of this takes nails, planks, metal wire, and barbed wire, and pliers. So hopefully that helps with people trying to make gates, lock gates, do a little bit of defensive stuff. We'll probably do another one of these, but I wanted to make sure that we cover this for people on the council, as that's where we live, right? And hopefully PlayStation and Xbox, we get our DayZ 1.05 soon enough. And this will stop people from vaulting over your wall. Actually, any built structure by a player is something that you cannot vault over in version 1.05. So even if it's low, you still can't. But you know what's funny? Some people will try it, so put some barbed wire in there so they get wrecked. Yeah, barbed wire is like so awesome. Let's hope that 1.05 fixes our MVGs in this inventory business. Yeah, man, I rebooted it and it's still trashed. Anyway, so I hope that helps. Don't forget, I do post daily DayZ highlight or daily DayZ videos in the DayZ highlights playlist. It's in the description below. I'll make sure I put it up in the chat piece. And yeah, that's fence building, gate building in DayZ 1.04. And for future versions, the one coming up for us soon, version 1.05. Savage says, I had 2 buddies die like that in the barbed wire. It's nice. It's rough, but it works. It freaking works.